Welcome to Happy Hour Holidays, your go-to podcast where we cheers to business, entrepreneurship, and life stories. Be the one. Be the person that changes their family tree and makes generational wealth for generations to come. I'm your host every single week, Manny Fresh. We got the resume over here, Sean Fabre. And in the house today, we got Manna Holmes with Manny number one. And then we got Quan. We got Quan, who's from the Tampa Bay Realtors Association.
We wish it was Tampa Bay Realtors, but we are actually Greater Tampa Realtors, Pinellas Realtor Organization, and Central Pasco Realtor Organization. I call it Alphabet Soup.
Alphabet Soup.
I mean, shit, it's 3 different associations in the title, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Can you explain a little bit of that? Is that because they all merged?
Yeah, that's because we have all merged. So now we are the 6th largest local realtor association in the nation.
Holy
Yeah.
shit,
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
6.
what's happening in the GA, Government Affairs Committee, the topic at hand is cutting down all the greater GTRC
acronym,
Pro
yeah.
and what's the other one? Pro C Pro?
Yeah,
Right.
So
And just making it all Greater Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But was
Because that's what it is.
And then you guys have to go through some kind of ruling or something like that. Who gets the final say?
It'll go
On
before
what
a
it-
board.
A
A
board?
vote. A vote. A board.
But hey, Quan, what was behind exactly the reason to merge all 3 of the associations?
I mean, I think the biggest thing was going to be we're duplicating efforts. So why not just finally merge together? And I heard that years before they have attempted this numerous times, never got through.
Yeah.
But now with the climate changing, with everything happening, it just made more sense. We were duplicating efforts on classes. Literally last year, we both had a fair housing summit a week apart. It continued to happen where we were overlapping in so many ways. It made more sense. We're literally 20 minutes from each other. It makes sense for us to just be together as one.
No, I mean,
Absolutely.
So is this association under NAR as well?
Correct. So yeah, we
So
all
NAR
still
owns the association, or who owns the association?
No, so we have the 3-way agreement, which is a binding agreement between the National Association of Realtors, Florida Realtors, and then your local association. For us, it would be my alphabet soup name. And so if you join locally, you are mandated to also join a state level and the national
Why
level.
is that?
I would say it's meant to make so that there's unity across the board for all, with our code of ethics,
Yeah.
for our advocacy
You're
efforts.
talking about FREC, right?
No.
No, so
Fred
code
is
of ethics is NAR.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a policy that's in place from the NAR saying that we would uphold certain standards when we are doing business.
Yes.
You could be a real estate agent and not be a realtor.
Correct.
You just,
Yeah.
do your
Just
63
hold the
hours and go
license.
get your license from FREC, and you are now eligible. You can just be a real estate agent. But when you're a realtor, you uphold a code of ethics.
Which means now you get access to the MLS, you get access to a lot of things that just a realtor or a real estate agent would not be able to get. Correct?
Well, in
and
Florida,
access to Supra as well.
yeah,
Right.
but you can't get access in Florida just being a real estate agent.
Oh,
We have the Thompson broker agreement, so it allows non-realtors to have access to our MLS, which is stellar.
Yeah, but good luck selling a house when you're not part of the MLS and you're not part of,
No.
you're not a realtor. I mean, if you're a commercial real estate agent, I mean, you could probably do it.
That's why, in dealing in commercial,
Yeah.
right, I at least minimum 6-month due diligence period, because the person I'm going against is an agent and not a realtor. So they're not going to follow their code of ethics because they don't have one. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So-
interesting. So to sell commercial real estate, you don't need to be a part of NAR.
No.
And it's crazy because
And that's what we're trying.
commercial real estate is way more intricate than it is on residential side.
Much
I mean,
more.
there's a lot that goes
The
into
chances of getting of getting sued is tremendous if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad they added Article 11, to the COE, right? Which you now have to be certified. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
accredited. So meaning
By whom?
by NAR and Rebuy. Rebuy is who writes all the educational material for NAR. So all the certifications, all the million initials after my name, you know what I'm saying? allows me to essentially deal in any field in real estate without violating my code of ethics.
Seems like a lot of hoops to jump through, man.
It is, but let me tell you what, right? Would you feel more comfortable with me representing you, right? Having every single certification, accreditation that there is, or a real estate agent that has none?
I mean, that's an easy answer. Of course, a resident agent that has none.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just fucking with you, man. Of course you,
You know,
yeah.
of course, you
Yeah.
know, but it's, and that's the biggest thing, it's the associations in place as oversight, you know what I'm saying, as the embodiment of what that profession should be. I feel like, in my opinion, I mean, we've taken a real beating over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
NAR was sued for a tremendous amount of money.
NAR,
And they lost.
everybody. No, actually, they, NAR being NAR and being embedded with the government, they appealed it and only had to pay a fraction of what they were going to pay.
Wow.
I just hate looking at MLS listings and not knowing what the commission is. That just kicks my
That
ass.
part
man.
does not.
I love
that
it
doesn't
now.
make
You
sense.
do?
To me.
I love it.
I know, but it's almost like you're begging for money every time. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go show a house, and now I got to be like,
You know
hey,
why?
are you guys actually paying me commission?
But you can put it in the listing agreement, can't you?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
And
a
the listing
difference
for the
agreement.
seller.
Well, I mean, the
side.
listing agreement. I mean, if you're listing
put
the
whatever you
house,
want.
you're gonna get a commission. But if you're the buyer now, it's up in the air. They could be like, well, you want closing costs? Oh, well, if you put an offer with closing costs, you're basically forfeiting the commission we were gonna give you.
But that's the best part. You know what?
Yeah.
Because you need to prove your fucking skill now.
Yeah.
I would say, and also now that we have the buyer broker agency agreements that they have to sign
Yeah.
before you even tour, I think it guarantees the buyer's agent their money. So, I mean,
If
the
you
buy-
can get
from-
somebody to sign it, but most
from the
of them
buyer,
still
right?
don't.
From the buyer, right?
correct. It's
From
from,
the
the buyer.
buyer,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's like I would call like a safety net. It says,
Yeah.
all right, well, if I can't get it, the commission from the,
The
seller
seller, yeah.
agent, then you're going to have to pay me the commission.
And the whole reason why this came about is because buyers were intentionally not showing homes to potential buyers. Buyers agents were not showing homes to potential buyers because buyers agents would dissuade the potential buyer from certain homes based on the amount of commission
Correct.
the house was offering. So they were like, you know what, that they're only offering 0.5%. I'm not going to waste their time with that. It's more like I'm not going to waste my time with that. And now the buyer may have missed out on a house they really would have probably liked, but because it's only a 0.5% commission, they never got to see it. Now, I'm just using a radical
true.
point
It
of
is
view,
true.
but that's the whole reason why NAR
One-
got sued. It
one
was
thing-
like the realtors were doing things they shouldn't be doing ethically.
But one thing I was thinking, as when you acquire a real estate license to do the pre-licensing and then do the state exam, I think it needs to be a little bit tougher
Yes.
for somebody
Yeah,
to become
I
a
agree.
realtor than
I-
what it is right now.
I agree.
And I've always thought that because when you talk to certain realtors,
The 40
you
hours
see
and
the
that's it.
quality of professionalism from certain ones, and some of them you're like, this is bullshit. They should have never got
Right?
that.
Like, would you ever go to a doctor that only went to school for 40 hours?
Right? No, never. And this is what NARS has taken. They've heard it. You know what I'm saying? They've been listening, right? And across the board, right? Brokers and brokerages, are pushing for their agents to go get certifications, go get CE, because I mean, me and Quan have had this talk. You
CE.
have
Continue education.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where we have the old guard sit in place, and no disrespect, but you've been doing things for 20 years the same way. The entire landscape of real estate has changed in the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
So you've been,
Ever since 2020, actually.
yeah,
Ever
but
since
even
COVID.
shit more so now, because they rewrote a lot of the COE, okay, the Code of Ethics, right? Adding in a lot of things to start fining realtors because they're engaging in, fields that they shouldn't be engaging in. And then on top of that, this is the biggest issue. Florida is not an E&O state, error and omissions, okay? Professional licensing, you should have insurance.
The broker holds it and pays it for the agents, correct?
Sometimes. The only brokerage I know of that is mandatory for us is Keller Williams. And this is why I get referrals just because I'm with Keller. And that's that. I don't even so much
Yeah.
act as a realtor, so much then as a lender and, you know, committee member, board member, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I like it now because it's starting to bring back prestige to the career. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy being a very good realtor.
Because
No.
in the
Or agent.
1950s, I mean, shit, when you were a real estate agent, people were like, holy cow, you're a real estate agent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, you're a real estate agent? Okay.
you're like a
You took
used
a
car
40-hour
salesman. Yeah.
you took a 40-hour course and you take pictures on your phone and there you go.
Right.
It
That's
is
what people
crazy to
think.
think that it's harder and takes longer to become a barber than it does to be a real estate agent. in the
Yes.
state of
I
Florida.
know, that's ridiculous.
And you're dealing, and
Yeah.
the thing is that you're dealing with people's life savings. I mean, for the you know, common person, their house is
Their
what
life,
they what
yeah.
their
It's
life
the largest purchase they're going to ever make in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I started the nonprofit, you know what I'm saying? And that's when, you know, me and Quan really started talking, you know what I'm saying? And because
What nonprofit did you start?
Second Chance Homes and Lending Inc., right?
Which does what?
It is lender, builder, right? But for affordable housing.
Okay.
Okay. So
I've been seeing you doing a lot of that on Facebook. I mean, you've
Yeah,
been doing a lot of events. I mean, you've been showing your,
Mhm.
you know, showing it out there.
So you're
We had to be capitalists as a firm, right, to start generating or to have the kind of capital, right, to go in and actually create a nonprofit and have the funds to start it going correctly. You know what I'm saying?
and what it does is what I'm assuming is that it provides affordable homes for purchase
Mhm.
for low income individuals.
Mhm.
Is that what it is?
Look at the landscape nationally right now. Trump came in, okay, and you know I'm not going to get into politics. Trump, Biden, you know, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. The point is, came in the first time, ran it like a corporation. We did pretty well, okay. This time he's coming in and raising tariffs with our largest importer that we rely on so much for technology.
Which country?
China.
China?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
And at 25%, and that's that the tariffs from his prior administration still haven't been lifted. What's happening is the removal of the middle class. That's what's happening.
now you do realize that China puts tariffs on imported goods from the United States as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just making sure
But-
you know that fact.
But who relies most on who? You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to war with Mexico over the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mexico
Why?
bent the knee, bro,
They did.
and so did Canada.
Yeah, they did as well too. But
So
But
what are you
how
saying
much money-
exactly?
But how much money was spent in the federal government? What was the first thing Trump did when he came in? Audited fucking FEMA. Do you know how expensive that is?
Not as expensive as allowing American citizens unsheltered after a natural disaster and then fixed it with only $54 million while billions of dollars were sent overseas in foreign aid for a war that we don't have any business in being in.
And I agree with you 100% on that as well. That's why, right? We have taken our American politics and politicians have taken the eye off of
The
people
American
that-
taxpayer.
Yes.
Yes.
The actual people that put the country together, the middle class.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And
we're
this-
trying. But they're trying. This current administration, in my opinion, is trying to bring back the middle class and even help the middle class achieve a higher standing in society.
Here's the thing. When Trump starts removing benefits, right, for senior citizens, VA.
You mean duplicate benefits that are paid to the same Social Security over 3 different accounts? That's called fraud.
Touche. They did bring that up.
Oh,
right?
I'll eat you
know what I'm saying?
alive, bro. I'll eat you alive, man. But let's get away from politics.
No, yeah,
let's go back
it's-
to the
it's-
affordable housing.
All right, I want to know what projects have you currently been working on? You got anything that's in the pipeline that you're working on right now?
Yeah, we are in due diligence on a land acquisition. I've had a relationship with Habitat for Humanity for a while. We did a lot for the Pasco
Yep.
branch. While doing that, I met with some of the higher ups, and whenever I go do land acquisitions, right, I will then go with Habitat and either give it to them at a fair market value, which is way less than what it would really sell for. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good idea.
Right. And then we will either give them the chance, either they want to build it, which they probably will because it's going to be volunteer, you know what I'm saying? Or we would do it and then, as a donation, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And write it off.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So
you have a nonprofit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the nonprofit that was my passion, you know?
How have you seen the prices of, since we're talking about affordable housing, you have the Tampa Housing Authority that deals with Section 8 tenants and things of that nature. What about the ones that can't get Section 8 and you see these landlords raising the prices of rent year over year to a rate that they really don't need?
No.
I like to always bring up this correlation between Arizona tea. The guy literally said, yo, we're not going to raise the price of Arizona tea. We're going to keep it at 99 cents. We're making a profit. And, people want to buy it for $1. Let's go. We're going to keep it because we're not greedy.
Right.
Some of these landlords, what they tend to do is raise rent year over year over year. And someone will say, yeah, well, your property taxes are going up, right? And that's usually the reason for raising the rent. While I can understand that, well, then just raise it at whatever the expense that you're receiving and don't bully the tenant.
Right.
I mean, I'm a property owner. I'm not
Shit,
a
we all
landlord
are,
yet, but
I think what it is one, because we're starting to cool off, and a lot of these people that came in from California, New York, Chicago, right, they didn't think that this was going to happen, because they came in with California money, New York money.
Yeah.
Cash
You know what I'm
too, cash.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
buying
straight
it.
waiving
Cash.
appraisals,
Yeah.
everything. in
All
that.
contingencies
Yeah.
waived.
All
Yeah.
contingency
Yeah.
waived.
Right.
I mean,
Sight unseen.
sight unseen, bro.
Dude,
Dude, yeah, seriously, man.
That's how I
got
bought my
a few
house.
clients like that, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
and then what's happening now? I am seeing almost, I can't even tell you how high the percentage is, but it's high. And they're in
Foreclosure rates?
foreclosure, and I'm picking up their portfolios for
So
3 to 7 cents on the dollar.
So that's like attributed to the variable mortgage rates, right? That it would change after 5 years. So they were getting those VR loans, and all of a sudden now the rates are changing, and they're like, "Oh shit, I can't afford this."
That and DSCRs. You know what I'm saying? So when you're loaning on a commercial loan on, debt service coverage ratio, okay, right? That's where the rate of the market rent keeps going up. You know what the percentage is of home ownership that's actually homesteaded?
I have no clue.
Non-homesteaded is 68%.
Not homesteaded?
Yes.
So that means that
That's
the majority
investor-owned.
of people,
Mm-hmm.
second homes or investor
Isn't
owned.
that crazy? In Hillsborough
Holy
County.
shit. In Hillsborough, how much? 68?
Yep.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's a good stat.
No,
that-
that's
That's
Well, I mean-
a horrible
I mean,
stat.
I mean, a good stat to know. I mean,
Yeah,
I
a good stat to
would have
know,
never
yeah.
thought that, but I
Yeah.
mean,
So that means
that's
68%
high. That's ridiculous.
68% of Hillsborough is owned by people that either don't live here or have invested here.
Mm-hmm.
which is common. I mean, we get a bunch of snowbirds. I mean, snowbirds could be claiming their house over up north as well. I mean, it doesn't
I wonder
matter.
what Pinellas is.
No,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
What's
right?
Pinellas? Do you know Pinellas? It's got to be higher, right? Because of all the condos.
It's high up there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: as soon as Milton came in, right, I took our resources off of Pinellas just because I knew there was going to be a shitstorm afterwards.
It is a
Statute of
shitstorm
limitation,
there.
right, is 5 years in a real estate transaction. Okay, right? And then most of them are dealing with companies, so you got 20 to 40 year now statute of limitations to go back on that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fuck around in that arena.
How are you seeing that market over there, Manny? Is like really crazy, man. Because I know people don't want to lose their ass, but at the same time, they're
hiding shit.
They're,
That's the problem.
They're hiding
What
it,
market are you
and
talking about?
I'm talking about the Pinellas market.
Oh,
I mean, all the houses that were flooded, a lot of these investors are coming in, and when
buying them for
the
cheap.
inspectors are coming, they're removing the baseboard and seeing all the mold there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's very dangerous and tricky kind of playing. But I understand their position because they don't want to lose their ass. Those people, that's their life savings, and they're like.
You got to see the amount of
and they still
litigation
have-
we're funding.
They still haven't even dropped the
You know what I'm
price
saying?
to what it actually is worth. I
No.
mean, they're probably just like, all right, I'm going to try to drop it 15 or 25%. They really need to drop it 50% because that's what it's worth.
But
It's
I mean,
worth
really,
it.
what they're hoping that happens is that somebody comes in, a big investor, like say a BlackRock
Yeah.
or a Vanguard, starts
Mhm.
purchasing all these properties and building massive homes on it
Yeah.
to then increase the value of the area, kind of like what they did in Miami after Hurricane Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear. I want Quan to talk
Yeah,
about
Quan's
partnerships.
quiet over there.
I
man.
want Quan to talk
Listen,
about
listen, you
partnerships.
start
in
talking
GTR.
about politics, you know, I don't.
Well, we're not talking about politics anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, we'll talk about fair housing with me. Like, we want to talk about fair housing. We'll talk about the
Let's do that
alliance.
from a committee standpoint. You know.
All right, so I'll
all
talk to you.
that,
All right,
know?
perfect. So I will talk to you about the Real Estate for All Alliance. The Real Estate for All Alliance is a diversity partnership that was created by Greater Tampa Realtors in 2019. And it is with our diversity organizations within that are, real estate related.
Mm-hmm.
And within the Tampa Bay area, we call it the Real Estate for All Alliance, Tampa Bay Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And with this partnership with these organizations, at this time it is 5. It is, it would be the NAREB, which would be the National Association of
Hispanic, right?
Yeah, we go with those ones. So NAREP. NAREP is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. We have NARAP, the National Association of Realtors. We have the area, which is the Asian Real Estate. And then we have the LGBTQ plus Alliance. And then finally, wouldn't want to forget because they would kill me, is Women's Council of Realtors. Those are our 5 diversity partners. And now our alphabet soup is part of this.
We've sponsored their events before.
Yes. With this partnership, we're making sure that everyone knows that home ownership is for all. Currently, we are sponsoring and participating in parades for the community. We're ensuring that we are at every event that we have inside the community. So we have events coming
Quan,
up.
can I hold you on
Of
that
course.
one? Yeah, just so we can go to break real quick,
Go right
and then we
ahead.
can continue talking about this. We'll be right back with Happy Hour Holidays. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All our social media channels. We really appreciate the support and all your comments. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back with Happy Hour Holidays, and Quan was telling us a little bit about the diversity. Was it Diversity Association?
Yeah,
with the
It would,
realtors?
it would be the Real Estate for All Alliance.
Yeah, Real Estate for All Alliance.
Yes.
Sorry, I cut you off, Quan.
Oh man, no, you're good. You're good. No, so listen, it's a partnership to celebrate diversity and make sure that there's equitable representation of all homeowners. And what we do is, like I said, we were going out. We are at parades. We are doing home ownership summits. We are making sure that we're all fair housing symposiums. We are ensuring to make sure that there is fair housing for all. There's equitable housing, and there's representation for everyone. That's the biggest thing. We all come in different colors, green, blue, whatever. There should be representation.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable working with people that you like and people that look like you. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were talking. Oh, go ahead, Manny. I'm sorry.
I don't. You guys know me for a while. You know what I'm saying?
I just met you the other day. Come on, Manny.
I'm
Number
very,
2.
I'm very
That was at Brunchies. You came up to me like, I like your shirt.
I almost believe it.
I'm very hesitant with who, especially in business nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, yeah, what you said was hilarious, bro. Yeah.
But let me tell you this. I from the second I met Quan and we started talking, right, and the knowledge that he has, right, in this, I mean, it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. Definitely needs to be, we need to do more about it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel honored that he's even here, talking to us about this, and educating the public. You know what I mean? So
Definitely appreciate it.
and we need to do more.
And all fair, you actually had a great tips and advice for realtors that can you share that with us now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we were talking about more so on, hey, there's a property that could be in a flood zone, or hey, my taxes, are they going to go up? And Quan had the perfect response for you.
Defer.
Mm-hmm.
As a realtor, your job is to talk about the home, not talking about what their insurance is going to be. Even if their property does say they're not in a flood zone, you need to defer and allow the insurance representative to make that call. You defer. If it's a question regarding insurance, defer. If it's a question regarding their mortgage, you defer. Your job is to talk about the home. You are a real estate agent. You are a realtor. You speak about homes, not insurance, and definitely not about mortgage.
So if I say, hey, Quan, is my mortgage payment going to go up next year after I purchase the home?
Hey, listen, we should probably talk to your
Lender
regarding
boom. That is in my opinion, that is awesome because off air, you also mentioned the insurance thing. Yo, if you're in a flood zone and your house floods and you told the buyer, it's not in a flood zone, you probably don't need it.
Yep.
Who are they going to sue?
You,
The
the
realtor.
realtor who stated, I don't need flood insurance.
Deferring, man.
But guess who's going to get
funny.
screwed? The broker. They're holding the E&O. They're going to be like, why did you do that, man?
Yes.
You know what? And here's the sad part, right? Almost
Let's teach that.
every
Bob
one of
Holmes.
those agents don't even have E&O. Only the broker does.
Exactly.
Because
But the
that's-
broker holds it for all
Nope.
the agents under him, right?
No.
But the broker is
really?
responsible
That's-
for the agents under him or her.
Nope.
No?
No, remember,
Oh,
they're
I
private
didn't know that.
contractors. State of Florida,
Oh,
right?
shit, you're right.
We are not
They're
required to.
1099.
Only the broker, right? And that is for
I mean,
performance,
but the broker is
really.
responsible for them. They are
they
responsible
should,
for
but
them.
they
Yeah.
most of these.
I thought that's what
you
that
see
was.
a lot
Yeah.
of smaller brokerages now, right? Especially in this market because everybody wants to control 100% of the,
Yeah.
We'll call them boutique brokerages.
Yeah, we'll be nice, okay, right? and
Fucking man.
it's funny because when I go into a transaction with them, right? Whether I'm on either side, but I'm usually always the listing agent, and I'm doing all the fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're getting
It's no
15
wonder
calls.
why you guys get sued because I'm literally doing things to not get you sued.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially, oh my God, I love this one's the most when I have all my, because I'm heavy in loss mitigation. You know what I'm saying? When I have the agents, right, try to execute a contract and they want to work it. Nope. You got SFR? Nope. Okay. You're gone. Goodbye.
What's the SFR?
Short sale foreclosure. It's
Training?
It's a certification.
Oh.
Yeah. But you learn a lot.
Doesn't that kind of go back to how one becomes a realtor? All they need is a GED and 40 hours of training at Bob Hogue or whatever other
Right.
real estate school. Doesn't it go back to if the broker's having to answer all these questions because he or she has all this experience, kind of means that they weren't trained well enough to even become a licensed realtor.
Mhm.
Because I hear from brokers all the time, they're like, Jesus Christ, you have no clue how many same questions I take a day from 15 different people,
Yep.
asking me the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what'd you actually learn?
Well, I would say this. So, real estate school, which it's more than 40 hours. I'll say that.
Is it?
I think it's 72, right?
Or whatever it was, 72.
It's a little bit more.
Either
But
way, still,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's less than 2 weeks.
I call right. I say less than 2
Dude,
weeks.
my wife did it in 1 month and got her license.
Listen, I would say
Yeah.
I call it kind of like stay out of jail
Oh.
school because that's literally it. It doesn't really give you a lot of real world, preparation.
No.
It's about like right now. Man,
Yeah.
I can ask you right now. When have you ever had to know how many square feet? Like, we had to learn in real estate school
Right.
that whole 3 old ladies going so and so far in a couple
Yeah.
miles. Like to remember that, to know how many square feet are inside of a mile.
Yeah.
You won't use that when you're writing a contract. Like, there's no time where you're going to be utilizing square feet and mileage.
Right.
So real estate school doesn't really prepare you. It's what happens after real estate school. And I think brokers need to be prepared that when they take on the individuals that are coming straight out of real estate school, they need training. They
Yes.
need to
Yeah,
be
100%.
hand-holded. Like you said, like it's too easy to be a realtor.
Yeah.
It's too easy to be a real estate
To
agent.
become licensed.
To become licensed.
Yeah.
Let's say
This
that.
is
It's too easy to become
why-
licensed.
Not to cut you off, right? NAR
Oh, but he
nationally
still cut
tapped
him
me to mentor, dude, because Quan, as well
I
as
have
I
that.
do, being plugged in GTR, right?
Mhm.
The amount of complaints and COE violations that come through, right? And mentoring is always very highly recommended, right?
Complaints
you know what I'm
from
saying?
complaints from who?
From the public.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
shit.
there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And now, right, when NAR National did is they created a mentoring program, right? And more of the more decorated realtors, right, were tapped to, be mentors. So when you fuck up, right,
Who accredits those schools?
Who?
Who
accredited those?
Yeah, who
The
accredits?
state.
Yeah,
The
the
state.
state,
That's
the
the
state does.
The
Yeah.
state at the behest of NAR.
No, they have
No.
no relation to NAR. It's based
Nope.
upon FREC. So
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
FREC is determined. And I would say, like, as much as we may say, like, it should be more stipulations, there should be more regulation, it'd be tougher. It should be harder to get your license.
I think so.
It's a business, and
Yeah.
they make a lot of money off of the schools. They're not going to make it harder. I have preached this so much, but it's not going to happen.
So even though they're
That's why
supposed
you
to have
see people fail the exam,
The state
so
exam.
many
like
times.
5 times before they get it. So even though the realtors have a fiduciary duty to their client, the state doesn't have a fiduciary duty to its citizens, because essentially they're saying, yeah, they passed the test, they're good. When really they should be like, no, let's make sure this person's actually qualified.
But I
before
would
they
put,
become a
but I would
realtor.
almost put it back on the broker. Like, I mean, I understand you just want the commission or you want the break off, but everybody should have like a standardized program where, hey, you're going to give me, I don't know, 10 or 15% of your first deal because I'm going to guide you through it and mentor you through it, because there's no way you're going to be able to do it yourself.
No.
I mean, you could tell who's on it, who's going to be like, hey, I'm going to do the introduction to the title company. I'm going to do this.
Right.
You know who knows what they're doing and who is completely lost. And
I haven't seen a single real estate school, and I graduated from Clymer, and that was years ago.
He's Ivy League, guys.
Right. Clymer in Orlando.
Nice.
We never saw the contract.
No?
No.
Wow.
And I have been to multiple schools and talks and during my meetings, and no one's lesson plan goes over the contract.
That's absolutely true,
wild.
because at Bob Hope, they didn't
That's
even
wild.
they didn't say shit. They said the stuff that you were talking about. It was,
You're right.
hey, how many miles or
You're
how many
right, actually.
acres?
Square feet in a mile.
How many acres or whatever? I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll fucking
shit-
type it into my
Shit
computer.
that we really don't even do.
Yeah.
Even when I'm doing land acquisitions, the fucking plotting.
But
and
when you first get thrown into the real estate market, you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I looking at, this as is contract, or what's a far bar that isn't as is, and
Oh
what's the
my God.
difference
Yeah, 'cause you
between
got the
those?
standard,
and all that
I
stuff.
crack jokes all the time that
I-
there's some people that probably have never seen a standard contract.
Yeah.
All they know
No.
is as is.
And if you're a seller,
Oh.
it benefits you. If you're a buyer, you get fucked.
Listen, here's the worst part of it all, okay? Is the now practicing law without a license as a realtor.
That's a real right there. That's a real.
I'm sorry.
That is real lost.
Cut all that.
Hey, but I mean, call a spade a spade. That's
You're
what
right,
it
you're
is.
right.
Yeah.
I think the best part about the standard contract is it goes over what's going to be happening after
Yeah.
the inspection.
Yeah.
This is the dollar amount you're going to get, buddy.
Yep.
If that expense for after the inspection is like $10,000, sorry, buddy, we agreed on $500.
We're at 500.
And you can't get out.
No, that's the worst part,
Yeah,
man.
you can't get out.
That's one of the things that I think, NAR should implement more and actually force it is contractual law, right? Because we have the GR1 series, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 of them, right? And if you really want to be souped up on the fucking contracts, because it's going to teach you, right, what addendums are, what all the different types of contracts, you know what I'm saying, disclose, everything that you need to do legally, even ways to manipulate contract. I hate to use that word, but let's just say
Call it negotiating.
negotiate. There we go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Much better word.
Yeah.
It's always being legal, but knowing how to play the game. Most people don't even understand how lethal you can be in inspection period. That's usually where I'm gutting the most and getting if I'm repping the buyer, concessions. Last year I got 100,000 in seller concessions for my buyers.
On one deal?
Oh, the whole year.
Oh, the whole year?
Mhm.
Damn, that's a lot.
That is a lot of money.
That's a shit ton.
Yeah.
And you brought up the fun word,
Mhm.
addendums. I would say that's usually the biggest thing that gets somebody in trouble.
Yep.
So I have to always remind.
Dude, they're going, bro. Have you seen the upticks in the practicing the law without a license now
Yeah.
for
So
agents?
Agents cannot write
Go.
additional terms in the addendum section.
I love it.
That
I
is
love
the
it.
act of practicing law.
Yep.
Without a law license or degree. Like, it is illegal.
So now they need lawyers?
No, they shouldn't. They should always, forever. They're
Yeah.
required that if they wanted to have an addendum, a lawyer needs to write that addendum.
Yep.
Anyone writing their own addendums, that's practicing law.
Yeah.
Remember, the contract is, I hate to say it, it's fill in blank.
They're even changing the contracts at the end in additional contracts and adding terms, crazy terms to it. Yeah,
back in the commission.
You can't do that. Yeah.
So is that technically breaking the law?
It is.
Yes,
it's illegal.
you're practicing law.
Yeah.
If you write an addendum yourself, that is breaking the law. You're practicing law.
Holy shit!
So you're talking about where it
that
says
blank section at the end of the contract.
Oh, at the end of the contract, you can't write anything there?
No.
As a
You need to have a lawyer prepare your addendums. I would say the one thing
if you
I
want
would
to be
tell
safe,
I would tell any realtor, real estate agent, you need to establish a relationship with a real estate lawyer and have them write you addendums that you can plug and play.
Yep. So just copy and paste into that.
Like what kinds would you say?
I would say
like the most common.
Probably
concessions.
Yeah,
concessions would definitely be one.
Yep. Now, realtor commission, I've seen them put it in the additional terms too.
We can do something simple like a seller concession. You know what I'm saying?
But
that's it. But we're not changing crazy shit.
I would not.
See, Quan is saying something.
I would not.
I wouldn't either.
I would have my attorney write. If I'm going to ask for some type of concession for my commission as a real estate agent, you need to have the lawyer write it. Anything.
So then it would make sense for these brokers to hire the lawyers, write these blank templates, and if it goes under,
provide them.
That's what I do for my teams, right?
Yep.
Our attorneys already drafted it. You know,
damn, I never thought about that.
All
They're
the
literally
addendums,
rewriting the contract.
All of that, dude. You know how many agents I have knocked out of the contract, right? Just because of that, and took full control.
How many, Manny? That was hard to say.
No, but I mean, fuck, dude, it's almost every single one of them because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think every agent has like a story of how you got to. I don't want to say the word. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Screw over another agent because they wrote their own addendum. And you give an example.
You don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
You tell them one story. I'll tell them a story. One back in my day.
Go ahead.
You go first.
I got a good one.
You go first. Yeah.
I got a good one.
You sure? All right.
Go ahead.
Come on, man.
All right. So I had an agent write their own addendum regarding the repair. So sometimes it's not even just the addendum at the bottom, at those additional terms.
Yeah.
They get a blank, addendum form and they say like, hey, you're going to repair X, Y, and Z, or you're going to give these credits.
These are like a full
And
contract.
so they wrote it themselves. And what they wrote was a percentage based upon the total of repairs. But it had no parameters of who gets to determine the total cost of the repairs. So they went and they had their report stating on, oh, this is the cost of repairs. So I told my client, we're going to get our cost of repairs. Of course, we went with the most cheapest guy you can find in the world. Like, this guy probably wasn't even licensed. And so...
Allegedly.
Allegedly now. And so our cost was completely at least 50% less than theirs. And then I explained to them, hey, you said percentage of the cost. You didn't say who would get to dictate what the cost was. You got your professional. I got my professional. I think that even your clients would like my professional's pricing anyway. They would think that my professional's pricing is better than your professional pricing because your professional price looks like they upped everything. So I think it's best that we go with mines. And of course, what happens is they went with mines. And they could have got more. Like, don't write addendums. Don't do that. And if you don't know the dollar amount at the time, you don't write the addendum. Find out the dollar amount during your due diligence period and then write in that dollar amount that you want in repairs. Don't say a percentage. Don't start writing stuff like that. This is why you need to have an attorney write your addendums. Otherwise, someone skilled like me will get you.
I know, because if I cash it in the contract, I'm going to send it over to my attorney. Hey, got him.
Find a loophole.
Yep, that's it.
And then maybe you might have to go to arbitration, but nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to because right, if you lose and you're gonna lose,
you're gonna lose.
Because you
wrote it.
Yeah,
you wrote the addendum. You're gonna lose, and you're gonna be a wreck.
And I think that's the biggest thing. The most thing that I see with attorneys when they see stuff, it's ambiguous. That's
it. And that's what happened.
That's the biggest thing. They are always like, "Hey, this is ambiguous."
That's exactly what you just described.
Yeah, exactly.
That situation, that gray area that nobody Nobody can actually say, okay, the price will be dictated by the person. No,
Yep.
they left that part
Left
out.
it out. They didn't
Yep.
say it was going to be the buyer's representation or the
The
seller's
seller's
representation.
It just
left
said
it open.
open.
Yeah.
All right, man. What you got?
What
Because
you
that was a
got?
pretty
What
good
you
one.
got? That was
He
pretty
smoked
good.
them, dog. He smoked
Yeah.
And
them.
I was
That's why he was
ruthless
like
back
a-
in my day. I was ruthless back in my
Because
day.
that's why he didn't want to go first.
I didn't want to go first.
because he already knew he had it. All right, man. What about yours?
So recently, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I had an agent, right, send me an offer, right, and it was on the loss mitigation property, right, and the offer didn't make sense price wise, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, in loss mitigation, okay, short sale approval, right, has to be done by the lender and the investor. The investor is the government, okay? So aside from that, we get to the last page in additional contracts, or, in additional comments.
Yeah.
This is where he rewrote the entire fucking contract, right? To where now the math made sense in it because you're adding in this and that and da-da-da-da because we're going to be saving money using your attorney, your closing people and, the lender, all these other, BS that they try to put in there, You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I call back and I go, dude, I just pulled your NAR profile. First of all, right, you've had your license for a year, but that's not the point. You aren't even certified to even transact this. And second of all, you literally just committed a felony, rewriting the entire contract in additional terms or in additional comments on the last page. What do you want to do about this?
So what happened?
I gave him one option. Remove yourself from the from the contract. I will transact it as SFR, right? As the expert, and I will give you a referral fee.
You took their deal?
I mean,
All right, that's worse than me.
I mean that is
That's pretty bad.
That's cutthroat.
At least I
Yeah.
gave him money.
Yeah,
I paid him. I didn't have to do that.
500?
That's a good point.
I didn't have to do that, bro. When I deal with loss mitigation, right?
That almost sounds like
It
blackmail.
involves one, right? My E&O, I have to up it so high because your chances of getting sued and loss mitigation are tremendously higher.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly.
Wow.
Let me tell you why.
I like it.
Let me tell you why. Because I am tired of cleaning up fucking messes. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the consulting firm, right? That's when I get called to clean up a fucking mess from another agent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That a deal's, the deal was done prior, and now we got all kinds of shit going on with the fucking.
We got
You
his
know what I'm
new
saying?
nickname.
Uh,
The
You know,
janitor.
It's
The janitor, dog.
Janitor.
I remove people that
Cleans
are
up all the messes.
Here's the thing. Would you want to go into a contract, right, with another agent who isn't certified or isn't insured?
No,
So if something happens, you know who's going to get sued?
you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. And because of the new COE, Article 11.
What's Article 11? You keep bringing up the COE Article 11. What is Article 11?
That any field that you get into, anything other than a single family home, okay, right? So luxury,
Duplexes, quadplexes.
literally everything else, right? You have to be certified.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
Did not. Oh, shit.
I will read.
No, wait.
We got time?
No. Let's rock.
Oh, let's go.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
welcome back to Happy Hour Holidays. We are having an all-out real estate talk today, and we've heard Manny number one. Look, I gave you number one, motherfucker.
No, dog. No.
Because of the resume.
We've heard McFresh.
Because
We've heard the resume. We've heard the janitor. Now we got to come up because all he does is clean deals. All right. Now all we need is find a name for Quan.
Quan.
The politician.
No, but you were about to describe exactly what Article 11 on the COE is because we've heard Manny say it so many freaking times.
Yeah.
So what is Article 11 on the COE?
Article 11 emphasizes the importance of competence and integrity in providing specialized real estate services. It mandates that realtors offer services that align with the expected standards of practice and competence in their specific real estate disciplines, such as residential brokerage, property management, commercial brokerage, land brokerage, appraisal, counseling, syndication, auction, and international real estate. Realtors are advised not to undertake services outside their field of expertise. As I like to say, stay in your lane.
Defer.
Defer.
That's what I think.
Stay in your lane and defer.
And then if anybody says you said something, allegedly.
Yeah,
Stay in your lane. This is why you guys are getting sued. Right? Let's go back to 2023.
Wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Right? I was the only realtor that didn't get sued, right? Because every builder can force a closing
Quan,
without
did
it
you get
being
sued?
done.
No, not at all.
Oh, then I thought you said you were the only one.
That's all. New construction. Let me go back to that one. Okay. If you guys could pull up 23, right, and some of last year too, right, but it was heavy in 23. D.R. Horton, Lennar.
DR was number one.
Oh my God, they were closing. They were forcing closings. Right.
Manny, they need to have, and I was thinking too, Quan, I mean, thinking about the builders, they get away with murder being able to do their own contracts and really, and a lot of the people buying
Nobody forces
no, I
them
know
to
it's
buy
not
the
that, but they
house,
also need to be held to a standard too. They use their own inspectors.
Yeah.
They do, some of them do shitty work, and then the public doesn't know, hey, I should hire my own inspector to inspect my house.
You're talking, but just to that point real quick, you're talking about regulating a private company.
Yeah, but I mean,
private companies can do whatever they want, and the person isn't. I get what you're saying.
Well, DR is public because actually
I know
Warren
that's
Buffett owns
public.
it.
Yeah.
No,
Lennar,
I mean,
Lennar and DR Horton have had great years.
When I say a private company, I mean
I get
owned
it. Yeah.
by individuals. Whether the company is public, which is it's on listed on the NASDAQ or whatever. Actual public companies are owned by government.
Yeah.
They're not owned by government. These are owned by individuals.
Yeah.
So it makes it a private company that's listed on the public domain.
Which is a
But
fucking
they
problem.
are part of an association. They're part of the National Association of Home Builders, which makes me laugh when there's a lot of talk regarding the NAR three-way agreement.
Yeah.
When the National Association of Home Builders also has a three-way agreement,
But
and I don't see anyone going.
which
after
is them being
That's
vetted.
fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, Doge will get to it.
Right, they can do them now. Because of you guys, now the National Association of Home Builders are on the radar. They have a three-way agreement.
These are not the opinions of Happy Hour Holidays.
I mean, but you know what? No, that's good, man. To educate the general public. I do, especially on new construction, man. That is the biggest thing. Because I see spec builders coming in and they're building for shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? That 1 year warranty, that don't mean a fucking thing.
Nothing.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to get into litigation. Okay? That's why you get your home. When I train my agents, right? In new construction, you are getting a home inspection. Okay? I don't care if the house is brand new.
For new construction?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Your own.
Yeah, your own.
I'm just saying.
That's actually not a bad idea.
No.
It's only going to
When I'm
cost you
repping a
$500.
client, in any case, I will get a home inspection. You know what I'm saying? Just because if there's anything wrong, okay, one, they're the builder. Two, the warranty, even there it's there. Okay, well, now I'm just fucking enforcing it now. Go fix the shit.
And
You know what I'm saying?
they won't.
And, no, they will. Trust me. Yeah. That's how I didn't get sued. Because they were trying to force closing, and it wasn't completed. There was code violations.
They always do that. They try to force closing and say, hey, I'm going to come back and go ahead and knock it out. The thing is that I was talking to a construction manager that my parents bought a new build, and he's like, I'm putting up these houses so fast.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but is it quality work? Because then I'm looking at how many, they had me come and put all the blue tape, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, yeah, you're putting up really fast, but look how much blue tape we have.
Yeah.
Do some quality work for the people. Don't just go in there and be like, hey, I'm getting a bonus because I just was able to put 20 houses up in 6 months.
Who was the builder for our parents?
I prefer not to say.
Probably should not.
Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but at the same time, or the construction manager. But that's what he told me, young kid, and that's what he said. He was like, "Hey,
So you shouldn't even
he's
be a
like,
mouthpiece for that.
I'm putting them up so fast," and I was like, "That's great, but is it quality?" And
I
that's
mean,
when
the
he
only
was
two
like,
quality builders that I know right now
Arthur Rutherford.
is Mana Builders. and
Shameless plug.
and I got to give it up to our old friend Danny Garcia, owner of Cigar City Builders, because he's been throwing up some
"Really?
beautiful houses. Yeah,
I've never heard
of that either."
Cigar
Is
City
it
Builders?
CC?
huh?
Does he go by like
Cigar
CC
City
Builders?
Builders,
No,
CCB.
no, Cigar City Builders. Yeah,
CCB,
he's got a cool.
I've
We need to
never
bring
seen
him on the show one day. And speaking of which, Ryan McGinnis, come on, buddy.
He was on.
It's time now. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I still been
I
trying to
love
get a
I
suite,
love
man. This
Ryan.
guy's got all the suites at the
Yeah.
Emily, but they sell out pretty fast.
Bro, RPM Lending. Shout out to RPM Lending.
RPM
They're
Lending.
killing it.
I got
The
some,
Motor Enclave. Shout out to them too.
see, but I got some data for I got some data for Ryan. We're gonna have some fun because I got all his right and what he's making off of lending, right? Versus a running tally if he was my sole financial backer, right? Yeah, much higher.
Wait, what?
If we're running a side-by-side comparison, right? He's into private equity, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
You know
posts
what
his
I'm saying?
numbers. He
Private money,
posts his numbers on his Facebook. He's like,
Yeah.
these are my numbers.
right? Well, we can see it too, you know what I'm saying, on the inside.
Yeah.
And so when you put their model, right, and you do a side-by-side comparison on how your model is, right? You can show that client, okay, well, you know, if you're dealing with me, you're going to be outpacing what you're doing already. So I love Ryan. I've known Ryan for 20 years. He's taking my son on his McLaren, even though I said, nah, my Infinity Q60 Red Sport will smoke your McLaren.
You know what? Well, I'm gonna
Delusional thoughts from Fantasy Island. It's
no.
fucking Anthony.
I will go back to some advice for realtors and real estate agents.
Stick to Article 11.
No, other than Article 11, I would say, even if it is the lovely Manny's properties, or if it is Cigar Cities, or any other type of builder, I think that agents need to know.
Yes.
Read the contract prior to you having your client sign.
Right.
You need to know what is the requirement to, if you have a preferred inspector, to get your preferred inspector on their inspection list.
How many agents do you think actually do that though?
Probably none.
No,
Probably
I'm
single
gonna let
digit.
Manny speak.
Call
Probably
it
single digit.
Call it like 0.5%. Maybe.
Listen,
You know-
but they just need to read the contract before you have your client sign and find out about the inspection policy.
And we
They
know
have certain
Quan does
rules.
that, right?
Quan did that when he was a realtor. When I was a realtor,
Wait,
yes.
you're not a
Yeah.
realtor?
No. So I would tell you, I have 3 licenses. I have my real estate broker's license, I have my real estate instructor's license, and I have my registered appraiser trainee license. I have 3
Holy
licenses.
shit.
So what do you do, Quan? Because I was under the impression that you were a realtor.
No, I am retired now.
Well, technically, right? Yeah.
I work for the Realtor Association. I am the vice president of strategic partnerships.
You didn't introduce him like that.
You did not. He did not.
Vice
But now they
president-
know. I mean, most people that watch, they know
I told you,
me.
man.
They
He's got.
see me.
I told you,
They
bro.
see
Big.
me.
Yeah.
Like,
So what was
So
the
big-
vice president of?
I'm the vice president of strategic partnerships for Greater Tampa Realtors, Pinellas Realtor Organization, Central Pasco Realtor Organization, also known as Alphabet Soup.
And he is. And you know, I don't co-sign for anybody, but I will give it to Quan. He is doing his thing and he is running it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
How old are you?
I am 38.
Damn, bro, you got there quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Quan, what
you do
made you
good
go
work and
towards
you're
the
smart.
association after being a realtor? Because I feel like if you continued as a realtor with
You'd
your
probably be crushing
experience,
it.
yeah, you'd be crushing.
I was crushing it before I became staff. So I was on the board of directors for Greater Tampa Realtors.
Gotcha.
And I was on the board for a couple years. And then this position opened up. And I was like,
Did you have
man.
to get elected or?
No, so I am a staff member, so I had to go through the whole process of interview and all that stuff. I said, listen, I get to still sell, I get to still talk and interact with people. Yeah, like I'm gonna do it.
Houses.
But not sell houses. And I get to still interact with realtors. I enjoy interacting with realtors. I loved it when I was a realtor and I was selling. I love the one of that story of that individual that hopefully no one goes look up my sales and find out who it was, who I got.
I don't think you gave enough details.
Hopefully I did not.
Yeah.
But I liked interacting with a realtor. I like the people that I met. I met a lot of individuals when I was a realtor and doing deals from new, from old. I met someone whose license number was literally
1.
not that low, but they were in the hundreds.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yes, I have
Jesus
met
Christ.
someone who was in the hundreds.
How old
Wow.
was that person? If you had to take a shot in the dark. Actually, you don't want to answer
I
that.
do
dude.
not want to answer that because
90.
they are a member.
Yeah, and they probably have a tremendous amount of power.
Was
But
it
yes.
Tony Everett?
No. But yeah, like, so I loved it. So switching over was no problem for me, but it also helped the association. At the time,
Yeah,
the
but you could
association
be
had
doing
no
more.
I could be doing more, but I
But
went
they
back to
keep
Well,
sales.
you were
pushing.
bringing in more tech, and I mean,
I'm bringing more. I'm bringing more
modern
benefits. I'm
sense.
bringing more stuff, but I
Well,
have
it's
that
partnership,
outlook
right?
of
There's a lot of pushback with the
From a
old box.
realtor.
So who are you usually trying to partner with then?
um,
Other
so-
than the associations where you guys merged, I mean, outside of that now, who are the companies that you're looking to
That's
partner
where you
with?
bring in the big companies.
Yes,
and
I
the-
bring in the-
Like
and the-
Zillows?
and the sponsorships, right?
Yep. So now we are starting to partnering up with Zillow. We're looking for big sponsorship partnerships. We are right now in talks with an event. I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it, but some place that starts with an A that you may know about for medical services. But we are.
Amazon.
No, Advent.
Uh,
Wow!
oh my God! How did you get that?
How did you not?
We won't say things because we have to sign documents.
Right.
I
I'm working on
said it.
deals.
He didn't say
Yes,
it.
I
And
didn't
we
say
don't
it.
know if that's even true
Exactly.
or not. This is all allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's
But yeah,
speculation.
I work with now because of my position. I'm not working for bigger. Before we had our affiliate program, what
What's
typically would
bigger?
be bigger now is previously before I got into this role, which I've been in now about a year. It was more on real estate related affiliate businesses. So a title company, a law
Inspectors.
firm, an inspector.
Appraisals.
It was
There's a
yeah,
million
it
of
was
them.
small.
Real estate
never
photographers
big.
for Brave Frameworks.
Exactly.
We got the Dundada here, man. We got to get it on his good side.
It was more of the small scale. And now that I'm in this role, I'm looking more big scale. I'm looking for national. I'm looking for state. I'm not looking for the small local. I'm still accepting them. I'm still handling them. I still do business with them. We have great relationships. But now we have to look into a bigger, broader scale. And I'm also handling our member benefits. We kind of talked about the whole three-way agreement. And I got to think about the reality of
Yeah, what is the three-way agreement? You mentioned it twice.
yes, the three-way agreement is the requirement that NAR has for us to be a member is that when you join a local association, you also must join a state and the national association, which is NAR. In the event that something happens with how our politics are currently, and then DOJ says that we have to stop the three-way agreement. Hopefully, they're looking at the National Association of Home Builders too, while they look at us.
Yeah.
But if they stop the three-way agreement, we have to show value. What's the value of you being a member for Alphabet Soup
Yeah.
rather than just skipping Alphabet Soup and it's just becoming a member of NAR? What's the value? And so that's what I mainly have been focused on. I'm launching every couple months. I have been launching new member benefits to provide value
killing
for the
it.
members. And I don't want to just provide real estate work business related. When you join an association, I consider it as similar as when you join your HOA in your community.
Yeah.
Anyone that's in an
I
HOA
was forced to join my HOA.
yeah, you can, yeah.
No,
But I would say
there's no-
when you
yeah,
look
no,
at the
yeah, I
HOA,
was.
right? When you look at it, you say, if I'm gonna pay this HOA, you better be replacing some things that I would typically have to pay on my own.
Yeah.
So if I go pay for my HOA, I better not have to go pay for a gym. You should have a gym for me.
Damn,
so that
I
way I'm
do
not
have
paying.
one.
Yeah, you should have it.
And a golf course.
In a golf course,
And
now
a
I gotta
pool.
pay that.
And a
pool,
restaurant.
so I don't have to pay for
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to do with the local association. Having those benefits that are not just your business benefits, but also your lifestyle benefits.
Yeah.
That's good too, man.
Yeah,
Because
and that's
that'll
one thing I
help
will
with
say.
regulation.
I mean, you look at the HOAs and that, there's a lot of them that are so corrupt and
They're-
mismanaged. They're taking out they're going out with other neighbors and saying this is a business affair. We're going to go ahead and pay for this meal. At the same time, what Quan says, does the HOA have a pool? You're telling me with all the money you're collecting, maybe with 1,000 homes, you can't build a pool? That means there's some shicey stuff going on.
You're also using it for maintenance of.
The lawn, the taking care of the front entrance is $30,000.
Not just the lawn, but also the roadways. But I want to say one thing real quick, since I have the vice president of strategic partnerships. Why the fuck don't real estate photographers get allowed access to super keys? Because we cannot, for whatever reason, appraisers and inspectors can, but real estate photographers, somebody who is essential.
Is there a license for that?
For the sale of
FAA.
a property, yeah. All of ours are pilots. Essential for the sale of the property. Why aren't we allowed to have super keys?
Since I've been in this role, you now can have super keys.
Oh!
No way.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
That easy?
That easy.
No
Holy
way.
shit.
Yeah.
You know, super is a service that you can pay.
I
for
love you,
outside of
Quan.
the
I'll pay
association.
for
We're not allowed to, bro.
You cannot.
We've
No,
had
you got before not.
no.
you
We
can't.
still couldn't. Pro didn't allow it.
No.
We had it super key access through Pro because we had a relationship with them, and they literally said, "Yeah, we'll give you super key access,"
Which we had.
had. And then as soon as the merger happened, they were like, "No, we're taking that away." And we were
It might have
like,
been a
"What
little
the
bit
fuck?"
before that. It might have been a little
Yeah,
bit
a
before
little
that.
bit
Yeah,
before.
before
But-
me, but no, you.
But we'll talk about that off air.
We will.
Yeah. We don't want any other real estate photographers having it.
even though I've seen it though, I've seen other like one-man operations have a super
Yeah,
key
because they're
access.
realtors and they get
Yeah.
super key access.
Yeah, no, you guys can get access. Don't
I'm
worry.
waiting to see what Quan does in the future, man.
I'm excited. That's
Yeah,
only been
I
a
am
year.
too, man. I am super
Because
excited.
you're bringing in somebody who's young.
It's been a year, you said,
Bringing
right?
in
Yeah,
some-
it's only a
And
year.
you've been
Yeah.
killing it, man.
And I was a former realtor, so
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
know what realtors want. I mean, I
but
would
you're
take
thinking, but here's the thing. You're thinking like
long term.
exactly. Yeah.
Long
Longevity.
Which
even,
that's how
you see yourself,
even more
bro.
oversight, man.
Well, do you see yourself, Quan, doing? I mean,
President?
obviously you're going to be, advancing besides vice
We're not
president.
getting into
But that's just
politics.
right now. But
Well, I meant
I
president.
mean, does Quan see himself
Huh?
continuing to get higher up on
Yeah,
this
within
association?
the
Yeah,
great
I
Do
do
you
have
enjoy
aspirations
it?
to get higher.
Yeah,
I
because
love it.
yeah, you
I
love
I
love
can
it.
see
Yeah.
Quan going for county commissioner,
You know,
soon.
it-
That'd be awesome.
If you did become president of GTAR, what would be your first thing that you would do?
This is like a fucking.
That's a loaded
It's like an
question.
election fucking thing.
Well,
If I
shit.
was president,
Besides me saying fucking.
I think that one of the very first things that I would do is provide the members an opportunity to get some type of equitable income. I'm big on.
I like that.
We need to
Like a base
be able to
salary for
provide. Yeah, I
realtors?
can't get
No.
no base salary.
No,
But I would say something.
Pension
Providing
type.
a benefit that will allow you to get some type of equity.
I think there should
Of
be some
equity
there's
within the
some type of-
business?
Within the association.
Within the
We would
asso-
have to figure out the
Yeah.
framework, but
That's actually
for
a great
years
idea.
you have already been giving your funds. You've
a
already
lot of
been
money. Yeah.
even with our
I mean,
political
that's-
contribution with our PACs. So like you've already been giving so much back. There needs to be a framework so that way I can help put money in your pocket.
I agree
That's
with that.
great.
I agree with that.
That is a phenomenal
because
idea.
the percentage rate, and
That
forgive
means
me
you
for
would have to invest
forgetting.
in certain things.
Correct. And that's my biggest thing. What we're doing right now is starting to invest and finding investment opportunities to find ways to bring more non-dues revenue
Yeah.
into the association. And with that non-dues revenue, that's the way that we could go back and pay back to
That's a-
our association.
Well, the
Pay
best,
back to our
I
members.
That
think
is
one
beautiful.
good idea
Yeah.
would be probably have maybe have these larger companies like Realtor.com, which is owned by NAR, I think, and
Yeah, it is.
Zillow.
Yeah, all these guys,
They're-
you get,
they're
they get
collecting-
automatically free fucking digital fucking, like all the pictures that go into the MLS, they get it for fucking.
No, but what I'm saying is
What, pennies on the dollar?
They're collecting ad rev. They're collecting
They
ad
are.
rev.
Yeah.
And why aren't they paying that back to the members of the association
Yeah.
that they're supposed to be representing?
Well, you know what they're doing now, right? Zillow, Realtor.com, they're actually sending the lease to you now, and Homes.com.
Yeah, but I mean, back to the association. The association
Oh, yeah,
is the one that owns
absolutely.
the, or I mean, you
Owns
pay.
Realtor.com,
I mean, you pay
but-
them. No, you pay an
Well,
MLS. You pay an MLS
yeah,
fee.
they
You
own
pay
Realtor.com.
organization fee.
Yeah.
So you guys are hosting. Hey, we got the MLS. We chose them to be our
Yeah.
listing service.
Yeah, make
But
MLS
Zillow,
pay.
I don't know how
Right.
much they pay, or Realtor.com, or all the
I think,
areas.
yeah.
True,
I
how
think
much
those
do they
trolling
pay
apps should
to be
pay
able to get
dues.
all the digital
Right.
content uploaded to them automatically?
The IDX, yeah.
Yeah. So do they?
Because they're brokerages.
But okay, they're brokerages, but they're fucking hosting
Technically.
all of them though.
Technically,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, it's. But
Oh.
here's the thing, right? My photos are exclusive to Stellar, so why?
Yeah, exactly.
How
That's
is
what
Zillow
How do they get free
bypassing the
access?
legality of that?
Yeah.
And
You know
we're
what
gonna
I'm
do a what did you say, man?
Because the
a
realtor
needle off
probably
the
assigns
cliff.
rights.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Happy Hour Holidays. Right now, you're about to bust a nut, and you know it. But we'll be right back with what's going on.
And
we're back.
$200.
We're back?
And we're back.
All right.
We shout out Steve Fantetti Legal, Empowerment Athletics. Steve Fantetti, he's been on the show before. I'm finally wearing the shirt. Let's go, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We had
Oh,
a
yeah, Manny Mana Homes.
Nah.
Or Mana Homes. I got
The
this
Mana
swag. Dude, I'm only wearing I don't think I bought anything other than my underwear.
Sponsors.
We also got the new era 5950 fitteds.
I like it though. That shit is hard.
Those are the exclusive ones we got.
For only $100 a month.
With an autograph.
Oh, yeah,
Signed
you got
by
a
Manny One.
Manny, you wanted to jump back into the HOA because I know that, you were thinking, hey, they cream their pants, they take it to the strip club. What are they doing with that money?
So, all right, I have right.
Allegedly.
Just so everybody knows, these three are anti-HOA and I am pro-HOA. So I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting.
I can tell you, I'm not anti-HOA.
I'm not.
You're not the anti-hero of the group.
No, I'm not
I
anti-HOA.
appreciate the HOA because
Yeah.
I like to keep the houses in order.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
You know,
On the same
because of
side.
resale
Yes.
value.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
I agree 100%
How many times when they
with
send
having
me a
an HOA. Our problem in Florida is there's no fucking oversight.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. When the HOA is foreclosing on a $500,000 house, with no default with the lender and no other issue, but because they forgot
fines.
their $200 HOA fee because they've been on vacation because it's $1 million house or whatever, right? That's not right.
That is not okay.
And that happens because I get fucking retained for this shit all the time.
Manny, is anybody really getting their home foreclosed for
Yes.
missing 1 month?
No. It's it won't be 1 month, but it'll
Right.
be
It'll be multiple years.
some of them. No.
That's what I think so too,
No.
because it can't be a quarter.
No,
Right.
real shit. Okay.
They'll put a lien on the property
1
first.
year.
Thank you.
If it's the ones that'll have it.
And he's out here making shit up.
where the HOA. No.
I want to hear this.
The case I got right now, I'm going to give you an example, right? I don't want to get too. I don't want to name anything.
Right.
but, okay. So the HOA fee for the year is $200. Okay, right?
Okay.
It's $50
That's it?
That's
annually
cheap.
or quarterly. Okay,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So they thought that it was coming out of escrow, and this is back to an agent issue, but nonetheless, right? I corrected that, okay, and even fixed, okay, because it turned into 2 years, okay. I corrected the first year, but the HOA switched in the middle, right, of this entire thing because this happens. Because it's a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the new one doesn't give a shit. They won't negotiate, right? They won't even let me even offer double the $200 for the late year. They're going full on foreclosure.
So they don't put a lien on the property first?
No, of course they'll follow Lisp and Dents.
Well,
Okay.
as the homeowner, you would receive information. Knowing
That's what I was gonna say.
that you
2
are receiving a
years, you
lien.
gotta have received some type of notice.
More than
A
just
phone
one.
call, like
Yeah.
I thought they were taking out my taxes automatically.
right. You see your tax bill.
Hey,
So,
here's who sends it to you is usually the lender that says, "Yo, someone's got a lien on the property. What the fuck is this about?"
No, actually, not necessarily because
But
it's
it
been a
does
while.
happen.
It does, but here's the thing. They will say that they send a certified mail, and then when I ask right for the proof, right, I can't get it because there isn't one. You know what I'm saying?
Certified mail, you got to sign for it.
Correct.
So if they're not at the property, they can't sign for it.
There you go. Yeah. Right. Their attorneys always have an excuse right for ours. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why they're attorneys.
And right. So this one I fixed, you know, and I can always fix them because everything is negotiable. Okay. But I had one that was referred to me by a title company. Okay, right? Her vacation home was down here. $600,000 house. Okay. No mortgage. The attorney that handles,
The
how
HOA
wealthy
management.
right. And didn't notify them on the billing, right? Or it being delinquent because it was a really small amount. It was, I think theirs was like $300 for the year.
Jeez.
Yeah. Nonetheless, right? I get a call maybe 2 months later, and this is that I really diligently tried, but it was too far gone. The neighbor's calling me, right? Who was the referral, who referred me out. And she's like, there's an agent here with sheriffs and they're just taking stuff out and the property's listed. I said, it's literally only been a month since this happened. I pulled it up, sure shit. They successfully foreclosed.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
That should be criminal.
Yeah, it should be.
It really should be.
Bro, no lie. And that's exactly how it played out.
Take it out in court, if anything.
I even filed in the complaint. I filed bar complaints. I filed the complaint against the HOA because they're most of them have to have real estate licenses anyways.
And the HOA is owned by the homeowners of the motherfucking place, right?
No. The HOA is an
association established by the homeowners.
Consists of homeowners that live in there. Yeah, there you go.
Which means
I mean, it's nobody who's really, competent enough. You get a housewife that just wants to do something for free. I mean,
but
if she really should be in that position to be HOA president, to manage a budget.
You probably have a lot of guys with a lot of agendas.
That's a good point right there.
You know what I'm saying?
I want somebody more qualified if they're going to run it's a more than $1 million funds.
Wait, when you the purchase agreement literally has an addendum regarding the HOA. Mm-hmm. And it goes over everything regarding you paying for the HOA. So you were made aware.
Yeah.
You signed. Mm-hmm. You even had to initial that document.
Right.
So you were fully aware of the HOA requirement and the cost. There has to be some accountability.
But I would like to bring up one point. The fact that they're still requiring you to mail in checks and you can't just go online and just pay. That's wild to me. That's wild.
And that was the legal loophole that they used because she paid it. She sent them the check, and that was it. I mean, are you going to see $300 really missing?
No.
In your bank account? I'm not.
Really.
I'm not trying to be an asshole, but no. You
Damn,
know what I'm saying?
dog, take it easy.
Damn, I wish I was rich like Manny Mana.
Right.
No,
Manny Mana makes money.
I mean, I see $300 missing.
Everything's going back to the...
I know.
I mean...
Damn.
Man.
How much money thought you paid for lunch after that?
Right, yeah. They paid for our lunch.
He dropped up in a Lambo.
Yeah. Missing a bumper.
We going to Birds after this. We going to Birds. Birds sponsored by Manor Homes.
Yeah, right. Write it off. Tax write-off.
It's a business trip. IRS ain't watching right now.
Just rent a private jet. Let's go to Hawaii.
Hey, Manny. Who used to drive a Lambo missing a bumper?
Why does that sound familiar?
Huh? He used to ride up to Jackson's?
Yeah, I know.
A Lambo missing a bumper.
Why are you
Nobody drives a Lambo missing a bumper. Are you guys serious?
Ryan McGinnis.
No shit. Yep. Calling him out like that, dog.
No, I mean, he was still a fucking man. I mean, he had a fucking Lambo when we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
And rolling up in that shit.
And now he's got a race car.
Yeah.
I mean, did he ever fix the bumper?
Yeah, now he's got a
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was like because he couldn't afford to fix it. I think he did it as like, I don't know.
As a strange flex.
Yeah, it's like a strange flex.
You knew it was his car.
Yeah, you knew it was his car. That was it. But it was my...
Like, I got so much money.
Brian's probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
No, but the reason I want to say...
He has a really crazy car collection.
Yeah, he does. But I want to say my brother-in-law, Ramis Laham, was the one that told me about that, so please don't hold me accountable for it.
Oh yeah, Raymond.
Fuck you, nigga.
Now you're throwing our fucking brother-in-law under
Well,
the
I
table.
don't want to be the one that
Nobody's safe on happy hour holidays.
Clearly
I
not.
can't believe it. When I heard you guys, man, your two families merged. Oh my god, I'm
Well,
dying.
I thought he was my best friend, and then he fucked my sister. Thanks again.
Well, they
Wait.
got married and had
Well,
kids.
you know that sounds like Raymond.
Wait, no, that really happened?
Yeah, he was
Your
my-
best friend
my best
got
friend.
with your sister.
Yeah, I got with my sister, but he did ask me if it was okay, and
And
I
what
told
did he
him,
promise you?
and I-
Well, I mean, you
a blunt a day.
A blunt a day.
You so
For a blunt a day? Bro,
Does
365?
she know?
Of
Yeah,
course.
she knows.
Oh yeah.
She knows.
But then I fucked up, and I messed up the treaty.
You stopped collecting.
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, are you still getting it? Like,
No,
are you expecting one to come in right now, like
no.
on demand? Like,
No.
Come in here and roll me one. Just kidding. I'm a Christian guy.
oh my god.
oh my god, bro.
Just so we know,
Jesus Christ.
this time between whatever time it is on the camera to that one, we're cutting it out.
Yes.
No, we ain't cutting that out. That's staying out, bro. The world needs to know.
Well, I just didn't want to think that, he told me Ryan McGinnis used to show up to Jackson's without a bumper, a Lambo without a bumper. I don't remember it, but
Kind
this
of
is what
bad. He
he-
keeps saying the man's whole name
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know when you see
and not using the word
Ryan
allegedly.
McGinnis.
That's
is
just
just
what
Ryan
it
McGinnis.
Allegedly.
Fix it. Yes.
Allegedly.
You gotta use your-
Sorry, guys. I've been drinking a lot of water, and it's starting to get to me.
This is usually when the podcast starts getting good.
Oh my.
Welcome to America.
Dude, I don't even know what we were talking about.
I don't.
Manny was going on
HOAs.
about HOA.
HOA, that's
I'm
right.
sure they gave some notice.
Notice,
And on the contract, it discloses you need to pay, when you need to pay, and how you pay.
But
Yes.
Quan, don't you agree that as far as the people that represent the HOA, shouldn't they have some kind of qualifications to manage over $1 million, possibly,
Yes.
depending
More
on
than
the
that.
size
That's
of the neighborhood?
More
why
than that.
the
You know,
HOA
because-
president who manages it, right, should have a broker's license.
I mean, at least something.
I don't know about brokers'
Yeah,
license, only
that's
because of
going
the fact
a bit
it's supposed to be
far.
consistent of the community, right?
Yeah.
But I do believe that there should be some type of training.
Yeah.
You should not just because, I live here,
Yeah, I live
and
here.
people like me,
Exactly.
I now get to be your president.
And that's
There it
what
is.
it is.
And that's literally what it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
There should be some
That's why they
training
create
around it, and it should be repeated
condoms
training
and things.
every
Yeah.
2 or every 3 years.
A lot of
There should be
CE.
training. Correct.
Honestly,
Like,
yeah. every year.
See,
Every
that's
year.
the thing that NAR is starting to implement now, right? That's
Well,
why they
well-
gave out the ABR designation for free.
But the HOA isn't under NAR's supervision, so
Correct.
they can't do anything about
yeah,
it.
that's correct.
I think NAR being embedded with the government, as they are, and everybody knows that, okay?
Allegedly.
He easily, right?
Right,
has
please
the
use the word
lobbyists-
Yeah, I know, man.
Please
Shit.
use the word
Can I say it like 10 times just to get it? Allegedly,
Well,
allegedly,
no,
allegedly.
everything Manny's
I
about
mean,
to
NAR
say,
does
Manny
have an
Mena, is
actual
allegedly.
position.
Right, everything he says is allegedly.
I plead the fifth.
This is not the direct opinion of any official of Happy Hour Holidays, and this is of his own free volition.
Yes.
And one last thing, please do not feed the horse.
I just saw the sign.
I knew Quan didn't see the sign.
I
I
didn't
was
see the
like,
sign.
he was like,
Oh,
oh.
Lord.
Well, drugs. I forgot that last part.
Oh my goodness. Manny, keep going.
Manny, what's your conspiracy? What's your
Right.
conspiracy?
Yeah, with
Oh,
the
man.
HOA,
Listen,
with the
listen.
property
I can't help
management.
it that I'm in the government affairs, and there's just so much, you hear everything.
Like what?
I can't disclose a lot of
Look
that
at
stuff.
Manny's eyes when he did it. He was like this. He was like,
I mean, when I
He's
got
like Cat Williams talking about P. Diddy right now.
no, man. I mean, here's the thing: when you finally see behind your curtain, you know what I'm saying?
can't
It just
unsee
changes
it.
reality.
Yeah.
is it that fucked up?
No, not for us. Let's just say just the outer workings of politics and government.
Can't trust any of it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a big bureaucracy.
Pretty much saying
All
it's
I
the
can
Wizard of Oz.
All I can say is that
Behind the
our
curtain.
committee has an excellent chairman who is extremely smart and knowledgeable. Give it to Andy Scaglione. And everyone in the committee is shit. They've probably got a million years just together in there. And there's some very good people.
Are there term
they're
limits?
well experienced.
No,
No.
no,
No, they're
term
not?
limits.
What is it?
So
No,
yeah,
There's some people that have been on that committee for over 20 years.
Yeah,
and they need to be out.
that's the committee. That
Oh, you said term limits.
Yeah, term limit.
I'm not saying nothing wrong.
Okay.
Need all this.
Do I have to?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't say they need to be out. I just think that there should be in place
changes.
a way to incorporate. And listen,
Newer.
we respect our past and our history and our
Absolutely.
elders. So we
Absolutely.
definitely need them to be a part of the association. We definitely need them to be assisting us, but we also need to be getting and involving younger individuals. And younger doesn't have to be their age. It can be individuals who are just now being licensed.
Yeah.
You need to be involving them because they are the future of your association.
Yes.
If you are only focused on those that have been around for 20, 30 years, what happens? Because Father Time is undefeated.
Mhm.
What happens when they are all gone and you did not pass your knowledge onto your youth?
Right.
No, I agree with Quan. And the thing is that I
That's
do
insightful.
believe if you're going to be a leader, I can respect your experience, but at the same time, technology is moving so fast that
Are they
honestly,
keeping up with
that it might not be the smartest thing to have somebody from a different time period to what it is today.
Unless
And
they're
think
adaptable.
but unless
Unless
they're
they're
adaptable,
adaptable.
but at the same time, I mean, you need to keep progress going or else you will be left behind.
I mean,
And there will be a
That's-
chance that people might not pay.
Yeah, I agree with you.
that's
100%.
some of the internal
Well said,
conversations.
Manny won.
Where
Now
it's,
we got
it's,
Manny too over here.
where you got, I'm sorry. We got literally the entire landscape of how real estate is even conducted has completely changed in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, so you got people that have been around 20, 30 years, 40 years doing this same thing the same way for those times. And now it's different.
And then what happens?
know what I'm
NAR
saying?
gets sued. And they lose. Right?
Did they lose?
Yeah, they fucking
Yeah,
lost.
lost.
But
I would say,
But
but
you
you
said-
said commission. I think it's the main fact that they said it was too much where they said two things. Number one is there's always that standard commission for us, and I want to stay. Well, I said us already, so I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. But we would typically say that there was a certain percentage, and that's just what everyone thought. There was a standard position, the standard commission amount. They thought it was a certain
it
number.
used to be 3%, right?
You said it, I didn't say it. So
Yeah.
they used to say that, but that's not the case. Everything is negotiable.
Yes.
And then also
Everything.
agents, and I would say this would be typically newer, untrained agents will then always say, "Oh, I'm free for you to use me because the seller is going to pay me." And that is what caused our problems.
Yeah.
That's not true.
And,
But
jumping
the seller was the one paying the commission for the buyer's agent.
technically,
But
because it was
remember
part of the
technically
agreement,
it
but
makes
they
it true.
but the buyer's
Remember-
agent was reliant on that, and it was
Yeah.
an
I
expectation.
would say no. Remember, the listing agreement states that the seller is giving commission to the selling agent, and the selling agent is choosing
There you
to give
So
a
then
portion
yep.
of their
Yeah,
compensation
correct. Now I
to
get
a
it.
buyer's
So then
agent.
let me
So the
ask you a
seller is
question.
not paying them.
Can the buyer roll in their commission, or I'm sorry, can the buyer's agent roll in the commission to the buyer in the loan that they choose to pay? So let's say because of what you're saying, the seller doesn't pay the buyer's agent. So can the buyer say, okay, I'm going to add an additional $10,000 to my mortgage in order to pay my buyer's agent?
You remember how we started this
can.
conversation
Defer.
today? Defer.
I could answer that question as
See, so he took his own
as a
advice.
different license. Okay, right? Yeah, you can roll it in there. No, I'm not going to say how or why or whatever, because then you're
Allegedly.
you're manipulating.
We're gonna
the
learn the
mortgage.
word allegedly for
Allegedly.
you, and by the end of the
Gentlemen, look,
allegedly-
I know we still have so
Here's
much
the
to
thing.
talk about, but if this is going to be our last segment,
It
I
is.
definitely want you guys
We got
to have
2.5
your final
minutes.
words to the audience. Quan, go ahead and lead us off. Give us the final words with words of wisdom, education, whatever you want for the audience.
That's your camera, by the way.
which one's mine?
That one.
This one right here. My final wisdom for realtors and real estate agents. stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Defer. If they ask you about insurance, you defer. If they ask you about mortgage, you defer. If they talk to you about legal definitions inside of the contract, defer. If you need to get an addendum written, defer to a legal lawyer and get the addendum written. Defer is the key word. Anytime you see me, I'm going to always talk about defer. And now my new favorite word is going to be allegedly.
And we will be printing that on our shirt. Defer. Manny, what you got to the audience? You got a minute 20.
All right.
That one's yours.
So, to all my newer realtors, and speaking from local, NAR, for the association, and state and national, please seek out certifications. Please seek out additional education. What you learn in school does not tell you anything really how to do your day-to-day job. It is literally an instruction manual. Do your due diligence in brokerages. Understand what E&O is, errors and omissions insurance. Because most of these brokerages only have it for their broker. So imagine driving a Rolls Royce without insurance on I-4 blindfolded. I don't think so.
The most extreme cases.
But, nonetheless, do your due diligence, ask questions, don't be ashamed to ask for help.
And there you have it. We got Quan with basically telling us, hey, defer on everything unless you know what it is and unless it has to do with the home. Manny, due diligence. Make sure you do your due diligence on all deals.
Sean, allegedly.
We got Sean allegedly. You got the shirt right there. Thank you for tuning in. We've been really happy with you having us on. One more time, peace out and thank you.